Fine. I'm just going to assume this is working.
Yes.
We're not actually looking at the computer now, so you can rabbit away behind us. But we've got Comic Book Girl 19 in the studio.
Thank you for having me.
A momentous occasion on the day of the debut of the first bit of music from DUNEWAVE.
Yes.
Or how would you pronounce it?
DUNEWAVE?
You would. You say Dune.
Yeah, I say Dune.
Not Dune.
Dune. Yeah, that's a bit
British.
Yeah, it's a bit British. Got that American.
Dune.
Got that American shit going on.
I feel Dune sounds like an insult.
Yeah.
Fucking Dune.
Dune. Yeah.
It also sounds Scottish.
Yeah. So, Dune.
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 You fucking Dune.
Dune. I was actually watching Under the Skin last night, and that takes place in Scotland, so I was just listening to a lot of
What
Scottish
is Under the
people.
Skin?
It's a movie with Scarlett Johansson, and she's like an alien, and she's luring human men to their deaths to be, I guess, taken and their meat taken
Why?
for whatever.
What?
It doesn't. It's very.
Why is she doing that?
She's a part of some alien conspiracy to eat people or something. It's very
What the
vague.
hell?
It's very artsy.
Wow.
But it's on Netflix. I saw it in the movie theater, and that's the last time I saw it. And then last night I was taking a break from packaging stuff up, and I was like, oh yeah, this is on here. Great. Rewatched it. It was great. I liked it even more.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you do still watch movies?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. Although it was so funny when I was scrolling through Netflix. It's like when I was younger, I would just watch whatever. I would be like, it's trash. I don't care. Like I'll put on trash. But now that I'm older, I'm like, I do not have time for trash.
What?
I'm
Even
not
when
gonna
you're doing
watch.
packaging?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
Packaging's the time for trash. The last time I was packaging, I watched that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie.
Oh yeah.
That was beautiful trash.
That is. There's some trash I'm partial to. There's some trash I'm partial to. I'm a big fan of I Frankenstein.
Oh wow, I've not seen that.
Dude, I love it. I love it. It's so dumb.
Is that Blokey from X-Men?
It's got Two-Face. What's his name? The guy who played Two-Face in the Batman Nolan movie.
Oh yeah.
He's in it, and he plays, I guess, Frankenstein's monster, although they call him Adam. But there's gargoyles in it, and there's demons, and they're fighting, and it's really goofy.
Right.
But I'm a fan.
Yeah, I hardly ever watch movies anymore. The
Yeah.
only movie I've seen this year is like fucking Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Those are the only movies I've seen to watch. I feel bad.
I mean, I wouldn't. It's at least you're seeing something. At least you're going to the theaters a little bit.
Like twice.
Yeah.
But you know, it's because I'm married and have a kid.
Right.
So like I can't take Hercules to see. I couldn't even go see fucking Deadpool.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Deadpool.
Yeah, you can't take him.
You were saying Deadpool was really good, right?
Dude, Deadpool 2 is so good. I was, yes, very much blown away by
Well,
it.
shit. Anyway, maybe I'll get a babysitter and take wifey to see Deadpool
Yeah.
in the one cinema that's still showing it. Maybe one day.
It's so good. I saw it on Memorial Day, and I actually got in a fight with
What?
a guy beforehand. I was like,
Did you get in a fight? What?
Oh my gosh.
Deadpool.
My friend's boyfriend, he showed up we were at this backyard party, and he was like, all right guys, we're all gonna go see Solo. And I was like, I had been on mushrooms that day, and I was just like not in a hurry, and I did not want to go see Solo, and I was just like, I do not want to see this. And so he was like, I didn't know that he was one of those Star Wars guys that if you say anything about how you're not gonna like it, they're gonna freak out, you know, because this is like their big moment. Like they're gonna watch this movie and they're gonna get really bonered up, and they're just so excited, and they can't stand anyone who would be a naysayer. And so I was like, I don't really want to see it, but I'll go see it. I see movies I don't like all the time. I'll go see it. And then he was getting really weird about it, and we showed up. I was driving his girlfriend. I had a driver to put on change pants, and then we went out there. This was after I was on mushrooms, by the way. I'm not on mushrooms anymore. This was like way after. I'm not driving around all fucked up. But and so we get there, and we're a little bit late because she takes a minute to get ready, and they had already gone in the theater. He didn't buy her a ticket, and I was like, dude, fuck that. I was like, let's go see Deadpool 2. Let's take our time. There's a showing in like 30 minutes. We'll waltz in there. We'll go to the bathroom. We'll get some snacks. We can take our time. And so we did that, and it was amazing. So I essentially stole this guy's girlfriend and then took her to go see Deadpool 2.
Yeah, you
and
did her a fucking favor. You probably saved that relationship.
Oh my god, we had a great
Jesus
time.
Christ.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, and he saw fucking Solo.
Yeah. He saw
Revenge
Solo.
of the weird-faced Barbie doll
Dude,
guy.
that guy was
What the fuck?
What an
He's
awful
like a head
casting.
like a rhombus.
Like what?
Where the fuck do you get a guy who looks like his head was made on a table with fucking bits of boxes?
I called him unfuckable Han Solo.
Wow. Yeah.
He's
Yo,
not
what the
cute.
fuck?
And Han Solo really is.
Yeah.
Besides-
Han Solo's like the hottest guy in space or whatever, right?
Besides
He's like,
Slave Leia, He's really the only sex in Star Wars in the original trilogy. Like, he was more the sex than the princess was.
Yeah.
And so to cast a guy who's not cute.
Yeah, I thought that was really, really disrespectful.
Yeah.
To everything, to like humanity in general. Like, how do you take like sexy space pirate guy and replace him with a fucking Ken doll? Like a sexless, you know, those Ken, and they don't have like genitalia.
Yes.
It's like, you know, he doesn't actually have genitalia. He's just got like the mound.
The mound.
The mound.
The mound.
The plastic mound guy. Yeah, that was some fucked up shit.
It was messed up, and it was so funny. I had two people, in fact. Earlier that day, my friend Johnny C had watched it and called me and was like, that movie was trash, and he loves Han Solo, and he was going off. And then like a couple nights before, even fucking Max Landis popped up in my DMs and Instagram and was just like, oh my god, I just saw it. It was so bad.
Where is Max Landis? Is he still hiding?
Yeah, he's been keeping it on the low. I don't know if he's ever coming back to Twitter. He's been creeping on Instagram.
Oh really?
He's creeping back in on Instagram.
I thought of him today.
He hasn't been on.
I thought of him this morning at like 3 a.m. I got in from DJing and I looked at my Twitter and all that thingy bob. What's his name? James Gunn shit was kicking off.
Oh.
And I thought of Max because I met James Gunn at the same place I met Max.
Mm-hmm.
James Gunn was really mean.
Really?
It was really horrible to me. He was tweeting and Instagramming horrible things about me. I was like hosting a panel and DJing at this Grant Morrison festival that Grant Morrison invited me and Gerard Way to come do the music. And James Gunn
was that at the Morrison thing?
The Morrison
Con
thing. Yeah.
Ah, that was so cool. I wish I could have gone.
Yeah, it was fucking awesome. And, you know, Grant brought me out there because I'm his second favourite artist behind the Beatles.
Yeah.
And James Gunn's like tweeting and Instagramming, who the fuck is this fucking happy twat in a Tiger t-shirt? Who does he think he is and all this shit?
Whoa.
Oh, fuck you, James Gunn. How dare you? How dare you? How rude.
How dare you?
How rude. And I met Max Landis, and then I kind of upset Max Landis a bit because I walked out of one of his talks, but I had a massive hangover and he was really enthusiastic.
Yeah.
But then I I met Max and I like Max. He's like, he's a very sweet, hyperactive, excitable guy.
He is.
And the mob ran him off the internet.
They did.
And he was the loudest thing on the internet.
Right.
And then he just disappeared.
He's disappeared off Twitter, and he's creeping back on Instagram. I don't know if he'll be on Twitter or not. I may or may not see him at this party that I'm going to tonight.
Okay.
But I don't think he's at San Diego Comic-Con. He's laying
low that he didn't even go to Comic-Con. Who's going to Comic-Con?
I mean, he usually goes to Comic-Con. But I'm not on that shit. Like, I don't want to go to Comic-Con. Like, I'm not.
I thought about it this year, but then I got really busy. I was really busy, but it was like, I have to stick to the content schedule.
Yeah.
But like that neurohacker guy I met, he lives out there, and he was like, oh, if you'd like, we could get some psychedelics and walk around Comic-Con. That's a very interesting thing to do.
Yeah. But I feel like with psychedelics and walking around Comic-Con, it's like, well, if you need to use the bathroom, good luck. You know, I mean, for you, your guy, you could probably make it work somewhere else if it's a number one situation. But it's like, it's just, I would get
I love that's the first thing you think about. Like, how am I going to piss?
I think about these things. I'm like a Girl Scout, you know. I'm like, if I'm going to be doing this and walking around, I need to make sure there are bathrooms.
That's hilarious. I would never consider any of that shit. Yeah. I wouldn't think about any of that. That's amazing. How well prepared.
Well, last time I was on psychedelics running around was at the Ren Fair.
What's a Ren Fair? The fucking Renaissance Fair.
Yeah, the Renaissance Fair.
Oh my god, there was a Renaissance Fair. I saw billboards and you went. Oh my god, what was it like? Was it scary?
It was fantastic. It was really great that day. And
Did you have a sword fight?
I didn't.
Did you wear any chainmail?
No, but I wore my like horned. I made this like horned. I use it for. It's actually in the Bene Gesserit. The thing I'm wearing on my head in the Bene Gesserit illustration for DUNEWAVE. I made that. That's a real thing. Yeah, and so I was wearing that around. I was doing like a whole Maleficent type of vibe, you know, because there's like all these like fair maiden unicorn girls, so I wanted to kind of counterbalance that with wearing all black and wearing this very cool Maleficent like dark sorceress deal, and people loved it. I mean, people loved it. People were so excited. I had my big
just other people at the Renaissance Fair?
Yeah. Oh, they were.
How many people were at this fucking Renaissance Fair?
A lot. I mean, there were a bunch. But I went in the later afternoon when it wasn't so hot. I had a water bottle with me. I was super prepared. Yeah, that thing.
So that thing's attached to your head.
Yeah, I made it, and I made it out of some wire and some cloth and an old dress.
What?
And like an old necklace that I had made, and I kind of threw it together.
Wow.
I get inspired, and I'm like, I'm gonna make something, and I made that, and that's what kind of happened. It wasn't planned. It just kind of came out of me. You know?
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed.
Thanks.
Comic Book Girl 19, she's been in the house like packaging up packages for people.
Yeah.
Like she makes her own fucking puppets.
Shout out to puppets. I make my own puppets, guys.
Shout out to everyone locked in. I forgot there were people locked in. What up, YouTube hero Alex? You bad motherfucker. What up, Nope? You bad motherfucker.
Hi.
What up, Jem? Says yo CBG.
What up?
Yeah. What up, Frank? What up, No P? What up, Brianna Trazer?
Yes. Thanks for joining.
Frank says, what do you guys think about Gunn getting fired? Yeah.
Wait, he got fired from what?
Oh, didn't you know he got fired?
No.
Didn't you miss this?
I missed
That's what I
it.
said this morning when I was like, the James Gunn shit was kicking off. Did you not know what I meant?
No.
Oh. They like dug up a bunch of tweets that James Gunn tweeted that was sort of making jokes about banging children.
Oh.
And like a lot of them. But here's the thing. He already apologized to this when he got the Guardians of the Galaxy job in a preemptive way. It's like, all right, they're going to find my tweets. All right,
he didn't delete them, though? He didn't go ahead and delete them?
Well, they found, I think he had a lot. Like, they found tons. Like, a lot, right? So he'd already deleted a lot, but then he deleted 10,000 tweets last night at like 3 in the morning.
He deleted 10,000
And he was writing this thing into Twitter, like, how do you delete tweets or something, but he wrote into Google, but he put it into Twitter accidentally, and like... Yeah, and
how scandalous!
And then he was sacked by like this morning. This other thing turned out it wasn't just that. So people are like, oh, he made some bad jokes. That's not fair to get him sacked. There's also this thing wherein he tweeted a video titled 100 pubescent girls pleasuring themselves or something.
Okay.
That a friend of his sent him, and the friend who sent him the video is currently being done for child porn stuff.
Yikes.
So this shit just doesn't wash with Disney.
Yikes.
Yo.
Yikes.
Disney's like, the mouse is like, fuck that shit.
No.
Yo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. It's so crazy. Like, I think about, like, my friend just got this gig. She's going to be a briefcase girl on
the new
Deal or No Deal. They're bringing Deal or No Deal back, that game show with Howie Mandel. And they have these briefcase girls, and so Meghan Markle was a briefcase girl.
Is Deal or No Deal like Shark Tank, but a game show, or am I thinking of something? Is this like an American thing I don't understand?
This might be an American one you don't understand. It's like you pick a briefcase. There's like 20-something briefcases or something. You pick a briefcase. You don't know what's in that briefcase, but there's all these different amounts of money that are in these briefcases.
Oh, okay, and you might pick like shit one, you might pick a good one.
And you don't know what's in yours, but you can pick the other girls' ones, and they open it, and then it's like, oh, the dollar amount. And you're like, okay, great, now I know I don't have the dollar amount. And then like, or there's the $1 million one, and it's like, oh, you don't have the $1 million one. And you do this thing where you keep going until... I don't know, the person, like, the Deal or No Dealer guy will come down and make you an offer and be like, if you want to stop now, I'll give you this much.
This is a fucking British TV show with a guy called Noel Edmonds. Shouts out to Noel Edmonds, you bad motherfucker. Yeah, I know what this is. My nan's obsessed with this.
Yeah.
It's on every day in the UK. My nan watches it.
It's huge, and like she's gonna be a part of it.
She's gonna be a briefcase girl.
She's a briefcase girl. It's a huge thing, and like she was telling me, she had to sign like a morality clause, and like she had to scrub her Instagram of like anything that could be vaguely nudity, anything. And she's a model, so it's like, of course she has a couple things, but she was like, oh, I have to scrub everything, and everything she had was really tame. And I was like, really, you had to delete that? And she's like, yes. And man, I don't know how people do it. Like, I've made it to where I want to make it to where the internet can never be scrubbed clean of my nastiness. I've tweeted so much crazy stuff. I have so many pictures of crazy shit.
This is what I think fucked up Gunn, because he wasn't consistent. He was a deviant, a complete deviant. Okay. Like this motherfucker.
Yeah, he works for Trauma.
He wrote Tromeo and Juliet. Have you seen Tromeo and Juliet?
Yes, I have.
I reviewed all the Troma things. I used to be a music journalist. I had to watch all of them and review them, and I was like, I remember the time, like, why did they hire this guy? This is fucking Disney. This is ridiculous. So like, he's the Troma guy, but then he joins Disney, and he's suddenly like, oh, okay, sorry about all that. That was a younger me.
Right.
So then he starts doing the Hollywood sort of social... No, the kind of slightly virtue signal thing. Yeah. The thing where they all kind of have to...
Yeah.
This is my opinion on this thing, by the way. Yes. Like, I looked at his Twitter last night. The whole feed was, like, being angry about Trump.
Yeah.
Until the point where suddenly he's about to get sacked.
Like...
But what this has done is that the people who don't like that have... You have this weaponized mob outrage thing. So it's like, I thought we need a statue for Justine Sacco. Yeah. Justine Sacco. Remember that woman? This is where this really started. She got on an aeroplane. She's got 200 followers. She's a fucking works in marketing. She made some joke about how she's going to Africa. I hope, like, oh well, I'm white, so I won't get AIDS or something like that. She gets off the plane. She's been sacked because this fucking massive mob of fucking swine, led by some blue check marked like campaigners, got her fucking sacked, and now that's the world. So like you have everyone all split up into these opposing camps, and they're just fucking. All right, we can get the outraged people to get you sacked. So it's like
so crazy. And
now the right have worked this out. Like those people are fucked because their people are going to be against them. Yeah. Because no, you're never woke enough for the turbo woke.
Yeah.
You're never going to be quite woke enough. There's always going to be some area that you're not quite righteous enough. So they'll just hate you whatever. Yeah. You know what I mean? You're not going to win with those people. No. Then so you're fucked. They're screwed. They're screwed. This is going to go on for like the next decade or so until people finally realize, oh well, everyone's got something fucked up in their life that I disagree with.
We all say crazy shit, you know. Like I don't know. I feel like that's one of the advantages for me is that I work for myself. And
yeah, so you can't be sacked.
So I can't be sacked.
That's the thing.
Well, so I can say whatever, and I don't think I could live
right now though. But what if like Marvel are pivoting to being a lifestyle brand, right? What if Marvel come to you and say, we want to get Comic Book Girl 19 show as part of our lifestyle brand? This is something that will probably happen. I wouldn't be surprised if it did happen. So then what do you do?
I mean, it depends. Like I'm actually getting ready to make a career move that is going to automatically take me out of the running for a lot of things.
Is that your not safe for work calendar?
My not safe for work calendar. Yeah. I'm going to do a not safe for work calendar, and that's automatically a lot of mainstream jobs I'm not going to be able to do.
Why? Like what?
You know, well, like working for Marvel. I mean, and because it's Disney. I mean, they're owned by Disney, so it's like I'm not sure if they would. But
and you couldn't be a briefcase.
I could not be a briefcase girl. I could definitely not be a briefcase girl. And so, but part of me is like, I want to do this because I'm kind of obsessed with like freedom and being myself. And I don't, you know, like, I can't put me in a box. Like, And so this way, I know that in the future, if anybody comes to me and they're like, oh, I want you to work for us, they'll already know what the deal is. It's like, there's no scrubbing me clean. You know who I am. You know what you're signing up for.
And that's what I didn't quite finish my point on. He fucked up because he didn't stay consistent. If he'd stayed being obnoxious weirdo, but he pivoted from being obnoxious weirdo to pretend slightly woke.
Right.
Had he just kept on being obnoxious, they couldn't touch him. It's like Joey Diaz is always like, you just never apologize. Yeah. He's like, never apologize. Yes. They tried to make him apologize for saying something about Ronda Rousey's betting that Ronda Rousey's asshole smelled tremendous after a fight, and they got really angry with him. And he's like, fuck you, that's me. I'm not apologizing for shit. Yeah. I refuse. I'm a comedian. You can't I refuse to. And so he's fine. He's bulletproof. He can do what he wants. Yeah. Same with Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan doesn't apologize. He's just like. He said, what did he say last week, which I thought was very good? He's like, well, if you've got fuck you money and you don't say fuck you, then who will?
Right.
That's real shit.
Yeah, and so that's what I'm trying to do, is just I'm consistently a crazy person. Yeah. So if you want to work with me, then you know what you're getting, and I'm not going to work with someone and then I have to change who I am to be, I don't know, it doesn't work like that.
This reminds me, by the way, I saw someone commented earlier, shouts out to everyone who's been enjoying this DUNEWAVE shit.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I am so pumped on this. I can't wait till Monday. The rest of everything drops.
Yeah. And I'm already like, oh, fuck it. Like, yeah, anyway. Yeah, I kind of already feel that this could be like a grand opus. I already want to make a second one. Yeah. And I'm already thinking about a third one. Yeah. And so on and so forth.
I'm in.
But it's really dope because it's like, it really fits this style of music that I really like making. It's like really perfect for this kind of organic, not dystopic, it's not the right word, this organic sort of space, lush, trap, weird, vapor shit.
Oh yeah, I'm all about that.
But yeah, so
lush, trap, weird, vapor wave shit. Yes.
Someone left a comment saying, "Oh my god, I thought Comic Book Girl 19 was quitting or something. This is amazing." I was like, "Yeah, she is. She's pivoting to being the first DUNEWAVE, MEANINGWAVE, turbo pop star, and that's the new thing."
That's a new thing. Yeah. It's like Madonna. You have to reinvent every now and again.
Yeah, exactly. So you're going to do the not safe for work calendar and the vapor albums, the vapor pop. I don't think we actually have a vapor pop figurehead. Yeah. Like you could do that.
In. I mean, I can't sing, but I can.
You can speak.
I can speak.
You can speak, and I can chop that shit up and put it on beats.
Yes.
Yeah, because this was recorded for this. This wasn't like a thing you'd already done existing. It was I hate you up. I can't remember why. Do you know what? This might have been fan power in action. It was because.
Well, I was trying to remember how how we got connected, because I think I found you through the WattsWave.
Yeah, someone tweeted or insted at you about WattsWave, I think, because I got CC'd in on someone replying to someone on something, and you'd been saying that you were into WattsWave, and someone was like, sorry, you were into these Alan Watts mixes, and someone was like, have you had the Akira the Dawn ones? But we actually met at Grant Morrison's house prior to that.
Oh, we did?
Like last year.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was pretty drunk. It was like the last time I was really drunk before I quit drinking for about 6 months, I think.
Yeah, that was a crazy night. That was a fun night.
It's one of those ones I just have a bunch of photos from like 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
Me and Grant took about 500 selfies on his balcony for no good reason. One of those weird ones.
Funny. I love him. I hope I get invited back to his party. I wasn't invited. I was just a guest. Max asked me to go with him, so I was like, sure, I will. Absolutely, I will.
Yeah, those ones are the best. Like. Yeah.
Or Grant Morrison's wife's birthday party.
Yes, the annual Kristen birthday party is a wonderful, wonderful thing, and I've been to like the last 5 or whatever. But like the second one, it was Max Landis and James Gunn were both there the year after I'd met them, and there was a weird little snafu. Oh yeah. But everything was okay.
It's okay. I'll smooth it over for you. I can be the.
With what? Landis?
Yeah.
Oh, Landis is cool. No, we agree. Landis is groovy now. He thought I was dissing him by like walking out of his talk, but it was I just couldn't.
He's a sensitive guy.
He is. I read his fucking Kylie Rae Jefferson thing.
Oh, I haven't read that.
Oh my god, I don't know how I fell down that wormhole, but I did.
Yeah,
this is the thing. I get back from DJing at 3 in the morning and my brain's all wide awake. So like sometimes I fall down weird wormholes. And the Kylie Rae Jepsen conspiracy theory wormhole. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, I saw his video about it.
Yeah. So the idea that all the songs are about the exact same thing.
Yes.
They kind of are, but then that is most pop music.
Yeah.
This is something I've been saying with relation to this stuff that we're doing and I'm doing, is that almost all pop music since 1960 has concerned the sort of emotional concerns of people in their late teens.
Yeah.
And that's almost all of pop music.
Yeah.
It doesn't really talk about much else.
Right.
So it's like this massive hole to be able to just talk about everything else, which is cool.
Like Dune.
Like Dune. 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 What do you love so much about Dune? Why do you love Dune so much? Why are you so attracted to Dune? And why right now?
Well.
Did I steal some of your water, by the way?
Yeah.
I can't be asked to reach over to my water machine.
Yeah.
I want to try this. This is, by the way, apparently this is some miracle water.
Yeah, this is some bougie 9.5 Kangen alkaline.
Why does it taste of fruit? It tastes of fruit.
Well, because I had before I didn't wash this out properly, and I had some. I go to the gym and I put this like little fruit punch mix that helps my muscles not get so tired or something. I don't know. My friend gives it to me, and so it's not like a pre-workout though. It's not like a caffeinated thing. It's just.
All right, well, the bougie water tastes.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of that.
Anyway, Dune.
Juice. Okay, Dune. So Dune. Yeah, I don't know. I remember growing up, I saw it. My uncle exposed me to it. He was 10 years older than I was, so he was more like a big brother than an uncle. He was kind of like, I'm closer to him in age than my dad is, and he's a huge Dune fan. I mean, he's read everything. I haven't read the Brian Herbert stuff, but he's read
his kid, right?
All of it, yeah.
Raw.
And so I remember seeing the movie when I was a kid, and I loved it. I was like, I don't understand this.
No.
But this is weird. There's nothing like it. I loved the Bene Gesserit witches, how they looked. I just thought the aesthetics were amazing. And I knew that I was like, even though I don't understand this, I know that this is worth understanding. Yes. And so later, like in high school, I was like, all right, I'm going to try to read the book. And I read it, and I was like, this is still over my head. Thought I finished it, and I did it. But I was like, this is way over my head. And then later on, in my 20s, I gave it another shot, and I really like got into it that time. And it seemed like every year or two, whenever I was in a rut, I would read Dune, and I would it
just
would get
the first
me out
one.
of it. Well, no, yeah. Well, I started doing all of them. Like
right.
After that, like every year I'd read the next one and the next one. I'd save it for a time when I needed something to pull me out of my own bullshit, you know. And because it's such a complete world, and it's such a commitment. It asks such a commitment of its readers when you read it. I mean, you really have to like pay attention and like be committed to this book. And so then a couple years ago, I had just finished doing Greater Creators.
What's that?
It was a show I did where it was for Go 90, and we talked about like I think 11 of my favorite creators who push the boundaries of art in whatever field they're they were in. And Frank Herbert was one of them.
Right.
But there was like Jodorowsky, Kubrick, Mobius, Frank Frazetta, like all those dudes, like all those dudes. And I had just done the Frank Herbert one, and like we just got done making the Greater Creator situation, and like it was our first show where we had money from a studio to create it, working with Machinima for Go90 for Verizon. It was a really terrible experience. It was a lot of not everything that could go wrong, but a lot of things went wrong. And so by the end of this process, we were left with no money, and we were completely broke, and I was like, what are we gonna do? And I was so upset, and I was so bummed, and I was in one of those ruts where I was like, I've worked so hard, I've done all of this, everything didn't work out, the profit margin we built in got spent because things went wrong with another production company.
You keep building fucking puppets.
Yeah, yeah. And in the darkest hour, I was in a real dark moment. It was like, I don't know, 3 or 4 in the morning, and just like Dune Club, like it just. A light went off, and it was like, read Dune with people. and I was like, start a book club.
That's a regular fucking idea. That's what, oh yeah, let's do that.
And I don't know, it just hit. I was just like, this is it. And I went home to visit my family, and I told all my family, like, I'm going to do Dune Club. I'm going to read Dune with a bunch of people. I'm going to get everybody to read. I'm going to sell this box. I'm going to do this. I'm going to box up a whole thing. And they were like, okay. And then, And then I.
In case you don't know, by the way, that like so basically, CBG 19, now known as DANIKA. Which one is it?
DANIKA.
So fucking DANIKA, formerly the artist formerly known as, is doing a thing called Dune Club. You can read Dune with her. She reads it, right? You can fucking log in. You get your box in advance. You get your book, get your T-shirt, get a sticker,
get your
get
bookmark, whatever,
some fucking sand,
a pin,
get a little worm,
all the things.
And you get you're fucking all there and ready, and then you all sit together on the internet together across the world, all reading a book together. That's fucking
underserviced market, I mean, there really isn't a lot of merch for like Dune fans out there.
That's crazy.
It's a really underserviced market, and since I was in a dark mood, I was like, I wanted to read Dune. I pitched it to the internet. People went bananas. A bunch of people bought the original Dune box. So we read Dune last summer over I think it was like 12 weeks But
at that point, you weren't reading it, right? You were like, everyone would read a chapter, then you'd all check in and talk about it, but now you actually read it.
Well, I haven't been actually. I did a little bit on Instagram Live, but then my live feed crapped out, so I was like, fine, never mind. I should be doing this.
I think you should be reading it. Like,
I know.
You should definitely be reading it. You should have like a nice chair, and you should have like a fireside, and you should sit there and read it. I would love the fucking for that.
Right. I'm gonna have to.
This also ties into the whole, because not everyone has time to read.
Right.
People like to listen to things though. This is what There's this whole Gutenberg revolution of audio.
Yeah.
Of found time, so you can listen to stuff while you're doing other shit.
Yeah.
Which means you can like double your capacity for bringing things into your life.
I really need to get on it. It's one of my goals of things to do. And like so we did Dune last summer. It went great. And then I asked everyone, hey, do you guys want to read the second book in the series with me, Dune Messiah, this year? And a lot of people responded, not as many, and I didn't expect as many to show up because Dune Messiah is not a fun book to read.
Why?
The first book, you have this hero, Paul Atreides, and he is built up to the highest you can build a hero. I mean, he is the most idealized, perfect leader that you would follow anywhere, I mean, he's such a perfect character. And in the second book, what comes up must come down. And so the second book is kind of mostly...
Don't spoiler. Spoiler alert.
We're going down. And a lot of people are fair weather friends. They want to be there for the big win when
but they don't want to be there when Luke Skywalker's sucking a space titty.
Right. They don't want to be there for the space titty. They don't want to be there when Paul's having a hard time. Yeah. So, but a lot of people have shown up. A lot of people have shown up surprisingly, and I'm glad. So we're doing Dune Messiah this year.
Fucking Dune Club, so you can
it's on Twitch Sundays at 3:30. So.
Sundays at fucking 3:30.
Yeah.
It's fucking amazing. Yeah. And now we have DUNEWAVE. We have the Wave experience.
What an accomplishment.
Of Dune. Yeah, congratulations. Proud of you.
No, thank you. Like you did all I did was like find some quotes and read it and send you a file.
I really wanted to release a gag reel.
Yeah.
You sent me the whole, just like, it wasn't like, it was just the whole recording. So a whole bunch of it was like
shut up, Beans.
Yeah.
I was yelling at my cat.
You're having a fucking argument with your cat and then like shouting at T-Bone, like, can you feed that fucking cat? Like, so feed that cat.
Feed that. Like,
yeah.
yeah, it
and
was,
then you like read some.
really
You read
raw.
some of them like 3 times, and then some of them you put absolute amazing drama in. There was like, and there was a bunch of stuff that I didn't use because you basically just went to the DUNE quote generator and read a ton of DUNE quotes, which were all wonderful, but I couldn't stitch all of them into a cohesive thing. So I used some of them for one track. But there's this wonderful thing. You're just reading these the DUNE quote generator bot, and you're just reading these wonderful things.
I was going through the
and you
DUNE
sometimes start pissing
yeah.
yourself laughing at the glory of one of the quotes because you're really impressed with the quote.
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah.
That was fucking funny.
It was so much fun, and I was also just like going through the book, and I'm really excited for people to hear we have one single where it's more about like the Gomjabar test.
The Gomjabar.
So there's a whole Gomjabar test that's so good.
Shit is dark. This was a great opportunity for me because there's this new vocoder that's been released, and I've always wanted like a vocoder like plug-in in a way that I could take any kind of voice and make it sound vocodery and synthesize it and play it. And this thing just came out and you can do that. It's perfect. And so I put it on all of your tracks. It sounds great. So you have this beautiful vocoder thing going on like all of it, and you've got like 4 on one of them. Like fucking 4 vocoder versions of you at one point. Yeah. It's really glorious.
It's so exciting. It's like really exciting. When you sent it to me, I last week I put out my final episode of the Comic Book Girl 19 show. It's kind of a cliffhanger.
Yeah. But R.I.P.
But that was like, and that was emotionally like it's a lot of emotional gymnastics to create your final episode.
That was like way more. I thought that was going to be a big troll, and it's possibly kind of a troll. You can't quite tell, but it was also really emotional, and you're actually crying.
Yeah, I got really emotional, like for real emotional while I was doing it.
Yeah.
And because it's sad. I mean, it is. It's like you got to mourn. You have to let yourself have time to mourn these things, and then also DUNE Club, the first DUNE Club session was also last week, so it's like we had to push out this video, do that live thing. Also, I had to get everything ready for DUNE Club 1. I've been just like working like a beast, and I've just like, I'm so drained. And so this week...
you did fucking you took fucking holiday. You took like 2 weeks off social media.
Yeah, I did. Well, I was doing that while I was making the final episode, because I was just
so you weren't really having a holiday at all?
No, it wasn't. It was just so I could focus, because I realized there's only so much energy that I have.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, this is going to take a lot of stuff to create this final episode, and I really need to focus, and I don't feel like I have a lot of energy right now. So what can I cut out that will help me to have more energy? And so, I mean, Twitter and Instagram, I was like, all right, I'm going to not do that for a couple weeks.
Did you find any negative effects from doing that?
From not doing Twitter and Instagram?
Yeah.
Not really.
No, exactly.
Really. No.
The slightest thing I was thinking the other day, I'm in a period of not drinking right now. I'm experimenting with not drinking for a few weeks.
Yeah.
You never like leave a thing and be like, damn, I wish I'd got hammered.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
That never happens, whereas the opposite always happens. Always happens. Even though I'm really good at being drunk sometimes, and I have like loads of fun and do loads of, you have. I really enjoy drinking. It's a very enjoyable thing. But you never have a situation like, fucking wish I'd got hammered. I wish I had a fucking hangover right now. I wish I'd been really stupid or whatever. I feel social media might be the same thing. If I ever was to stop, you're like, wow. I don't know. But I do love all you guys, and I enjoy hanging out with you all. And yeah. But
it was it was good. It was good. Now this week I've been like, oh, I'm so drained, just trying to recharge. And then you sent me the DUNEWAVE stuff, and it has been giving me so much life this week. It's like one of like the best, most energizing things that I really needed this week.
So you enjoy listening to yourself as a musical thing then? Because some people get embarrassed about shit like that. Some people find it weird.
I'm like, this is the sickest shit ever. Like, I wanted, like, Dazzler's my favorite fucking girl in the MCU, or not MCU, but the Marvel universe, and like, she's a disco mutant, so it's like, I have disco.
You are a disco mutant.
Disco mutant dreams, even though I'm not the best singer in the world.
We should think of a disco project. Discos, because I really like space disco as a genre.
Ooh,
anyway,
space disco.
Space disco.
Oh my gosh.
Like, it was a really good bit of disco in the mid-70s.
I
always like the idea of doing
a playlist of some space disco to get into.
You're not a space disco person?
I don't know where to go. You have to tell me.
Okay, I will. Yeah, space disco is wonderful.
Enlighten me.
Like Clouds Across the Moon by the Ra Band.
Yeah.
Like shit. There's this whole period, because it coincided with like what was going on with NASA and stuff. Yeah. The lyrical content master of disco suddenly started looking out towards space, and it only lasted for like a year or something. And they're all like, love songs about being on Mars and your husband being back on Earth, and like trying to phone across space, but the phone doesn't work because it only works when the planets go around like once a year, and they make little pum pum laser noises. Around the time they did the Star Wars disco, there was a Star Wars disco soundtrack remix that was very popular. It kind of then there was a genre built up around.
Got it.
Space.
It just seems like those two are a fit.
Yeah, they are, and I really like the idea of like doing a kind of vaporwave / future funk take on space disco with contemporary inflections. But what would the subject matter be?
Say no more, fam. I don't know,
because it's not Dune.
Yeah.
Dune is the music we have with Dune is perfect. I feel.
Yeah.
For that.
Yeah, I really love the Reverend Mother track. I think that's my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
I've like been riding around my bike, listening to it in my car. Total loser. Jamming out to my own self. Like, what a piece of shit.
Do you know who? No. Do you know who else does that? DJ Khaled does that. Do you know who else did that? Biggie did that. Like, do you know who else does that? Me. Actually, I don't do it that much. I make a thing and I enjoy it very much at the same time, and then once I've done it, I never listen to it again.
Yeah.
But like all the greats bop to their own bops.
Yeah.
Like,
I was definitely bopping to these bops.
Yeah.
Yes. The most. Not embarrassed. Trying to show my friends.
Shit's hard, man. Honestly, I was working on all of it, but I was getting fucking chills around the point I was putting together the What's in the Box chorus thing. What's in the box, and I put that vocoder thing on and went boom. Yeah, I just had it just again. Then I had a weird little sort of chill thing, and it went up my rib cage.
Oh no, it totally gave me goosebumps. Like listening, DUNEWAVE is totally giving me goosebumps. I'm just like, oh, this is so I'm getting excited right now. I'm like so pumped. So juiced.
Yeah. Well, on that bombshell, thank you for hanging out.
Yeah, thank you.
You've got a party to go to. She's going to a masked ball.
Yeah. I'm gonna be an angel tonight.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
So I'm gonna go hang out with my little family. I don't have to DJ tonight. Fred Durst stole my gig tonight.
Oh well.
My regular Friday, they were like, oh, actually, could you do Thursday instead and don't come in on Friday? I was like, why? They're like, oh, Fred Durst wants to DJ.
Yeah.
So, fine.
Fine,
Fred Durst.
Fine.
All right, you won't be as good as me, but I respect your red hat.
Yeah.
He does a really good jazz night on Thursdays at Black Rabbit Rose. He has like a jazz band that he sort of leads.
Oh, I think I actually went to that once. I went to that with my friend Jessica once. Yeah. I didn't know that was. I didn't have my glasses on.
That's the sick thing about living in LA. You can go out and see Joey Diaz at the comedy club, like any comedy store, like any night you want.
So
you can go see Fred Durst leading a jazz band and fucking on a Thursday.
Oh yeah, I've seen Jeff Goldblum's jazz band.
Oh, did you see that? My homie saw that. He said it was amazing.
It was amazing.
Jeff Goldblum goes to the same coffee shop as me, and he has. I don't think he can find trousers that fit him because he always has his ankles out.
Oh yeah, he's like 6'4" or something.
He's
very tall.
He's all the way up.
Yeah, he's at least, he might be 6'4", 6'3". I'm gonna just put him somewhere in between there, but he's very tall and handsome. Yeah,
he is. He's radiant.
He's like, I don't know what he's gotten into lately, but he is just like this. It's the Renaissance. It's a Renaissance. I feel like he's just blossomed again.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, boom. Shouts out to Jeff Goldblum. Shouts out to Frank Herbert. Shouts out to Frank Frazetta.
Yeah.
All the greats.
All the greats.
R.I.P. James Gunn.
Yes.
Good luck in what happens next. I honestly felt really bad for him, actually.
Yeah.
Like, even though he was very mean to me for no reason. I did feel really
bad
for him because
people's entire livelihoods ripped away from them.
everything he loves in life has been removed from him.
Yeah.
Just taking it,
Just
like
for
all those people that he would have
Twitter
been. Imagine being so excited about hanging out with all your homies again and making a big movie together, and like, you can't do that now.
Yeah. It's messed up. It's messed up, man. We'll see how the next Guardians turns out, though. I mean, without him.
Oh yeah, but they'll just get what's his face who did Thor to do it, and it'll be great.
Oh yeah, Taika Waititi.
Yeah, he'll fucking nail it.
That's
true.
It'll be brilliant. Yeah, you're right.
It'll be great, and that's even worse because everyone will be like, "Oh, this is way better than it would have been before," and James Gunn will be all like,
back to trauma.
Oh shit! Maybe he's gonna go and do like trauma, like Avengers parodies for Brazzers or something.
I'm sure he'll do something weird.
Yeah, well, he fucking has to.
I mean, he's got to let him. Now he can let loose. Now that he's off.
Yeah, it could be amazing. It could be amazing.
This
could be what makes him.
I hope that
this could be the making of the man.
I hope that this leads him to.
What is it? What was that wonderful quote? There should be a school for adversity or whatever.
Oh yeah. There should be a science of discontent. People need hard times and oppression to develop psychic muscles.
Some real shit.
Real shit.
That's some real shit. Comic book girl, 19 foot, the artist currently known as DANIKA, no DANIKA. That's some real shit.
Yes.
That's some advice for you, James Gunn. Everything's going to be okay. Don't worry about it.
Get those psychic muscles, bro.
Yeah, get that shit. Like, life is suffering.
Yeah.
And right now you're suffering.
Remember to hydrate while you suffer.
Yo, exactly. Yeah, boom.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thanks everyone who was locked in, you cuties.
Bye, guys.
Love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow morning for the Dawn Daily, whatever the fuck we're calling it. Thank you, YouTube hero Alex, for moderating. You bad motherfucker, you. Edward Riggins says he loves showing off his ankles. He wants that sock attention. Yo, he didn't even wear socks, man. When I saw him, he just had those fucking raw ankles out there.
Raw ankles.
Just rankling. All right, boom. I'll see you later. Mwah.